Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Light Sports Ramble. This is take 2 tonight. Unfortunately, you cannot upload a video to YouTube that is more than 15 minutes long. Looks like I'm going to have to stay on task so I can get the ramble done. But there's so much to talk about in the AFC East. So I'm going to get right to it, starting with the Patriots. We all know what happened in the offseason. This is not the time or the place to talk about it, but we know they lost Hernandez at tight end. Gronkowski, surgery, rehabbing. Will he be back for the season? If not, Brady is in trouble at tight end. Now, other key losses on this team. Wes Welker. You went out and signed Amendola, and people will say he's the same type player. But how are you going to replace 600 catches? Don't be telling me Amendola is the same player as Wes Welker. No way, no how. Because Amendola is also injury prone. So I don't see that. You lost huge production. Now, you picked up David Jones. You got Michael Jenkins at wide receiver. Average receivers. And Brady is fine with that. But that's not the problem. The other problem you have is at running back. And I think one of the key losses is Woodhead. Where was Brady's security blanket? Did he not dump the ball to the backfield to Woodhead? Look at Shipley's receiving stats. Dismal. So where's that security blanket? Not taking anything away from Ridley for running. Great yardage. But he's not the pass receiver out of the backfield. So Brady's missing tight ends and a running back who can catch the ball. That's huge problems. That is huge problems for Brady. Now, defensively, I think you took a big loss with Chung. Not a great player, but a solid player in the back, and you replaced him with Adrian Wilson, who the Cardinals gave up on. Now, Belichick is great at taking old veterans and getting the last ounce of effort out of them. But on defense, when you lose a step, you lose a step. Doesn't matter how much passion and motivation you have. Either you have the physical tools to play safety, or you don't. And I don't think Wilson has the tools to play safety anymore. Now, I love your linebacking core. Oh, do I love that linebacking core. I love Mayo, Spikes, and Hightower. That is a great linebacking core. But where's the pass rush coming from? You didn't have one last year. You didn't really address it. I don't see the pass rush getting that much better. Now, in the secondary, you got Talib. And you have Denard. But there's a gut feeling that tells me Denard is not going to be the same player after what happened. Just to me, it's something with maturity. I don't think he's mature enough to overcome what happened in the offseason. Now, maybe he'll prove me wrong, and that would be great. But I just don't see it happening. So let's move on to the Dolphins. A lot to talk about with the Dolphins. So I'll get right to it. Start with Wallace. I think you overpaid Wallace, Miami. I think he's a go route guy. He's a go route guy. And if you want to pay that money for a guy that can do the go route, fine, do that. And maybe you can afford to because you have Hartline, who can give you the intermediate route and catch everything thrown to him. But Wallace has a history of dropping balls. And hopefully the money doesn't go to his head. But we shall see. Now, I like the pickup with Keller. I think that was a great pickup. Because that's going to give Tannehill another outlet. And talking about Tannehill, whatever people say about his draft status and how high you went up to get him, he wasn't great, he wasn't bad, he was an average quarterback. But he may be that quarterback that can just manage a team if you give him some weapons. So let's get off his back and let's see what he does in year 2. Let's see if he can progress. Because that's not the problem. The problem's at running back. Because now you're going to Lamar Miller. Reggie Bush is gone, and now it's Lamar Miller running the ball. Limited carries, and now you're going to ask him to do a job for 16 games. Is he durable enough? And can he sustain his success over the course of a season? That is a huge question. Now, on defense, you got Cameron Wake, and that guy can rush the passer, and then you drafted Jordan. Like that draft pick. So you got two studs that can rush the quarterback. Big question on defense is, can we put all these new faces together and get them to all play in scheme? Because we know defense is all about scheme. And you picked up Wheeler and you picked up Ellerby. That's an upgrade, but again, you got to put them into the system, right? Yes, you do. And so let's see if they'll fit in the scheme. Because I love your safety play too with Clemens and Jones. Got some good players back there. So we'll see what happens. Not so big on the pickup of Grimes coming off the Achilles. But if he can go ahead and tell the players that I am not done, you've got a good player when he's healthy. But I'm not big on that pickup. Just coming off the Achilles. Let's move on to the Jets. And where do we want to go here? And this is where I lost the ramble last time. Too much talking on the Jets. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Maybe I should just say, what a mess. Maybe I should say Rex Ryan should be gone. What a mess in New York. The Sanchez-Geno thing, here's my thing. You don't want Sanchez there next year, then let Geno play. That's all I'm going to say about that. Your top two receivers are hurt. You have no other weapons on offense. You signed Ivory. But you know what? If you have no one to throw the ball to, they're just going to stack the line and they're going to crush Ivory. And Ivory, I'm going to tell you this. What were you thinking going to New York? Was it all about the money? Because honestly, it just might be career suicide for you. Did you not look at the other weapons on offense? I feel sorry for you, Ivory. I really feel sorry for you. And let's look at defense. Another mess. Yeah, Revis is gone. Bart Scott is gone. Landry is gone. And Jeremiah Bell is gone. Possibly your four best players are gone on defense. You got Cromartie. I like Cromartie back there. And you drafted Milner, but he's a rookie. And a lot of people are saying he's overrated because he could just outrun everybody. So I'm not going to go any more with that, but just that defense is a mess too. Good luck, New York. That's all I'm going to say. And that brings me to Buffalo. Not quite a big of a mess in Buffalo. Seeing a little bit of direction and kind of building some things. But this team, you can tell, is in a rebuilding year. Yeah, you went out, drafted Manuel. He's not ready to start in the NFL, so you went out and got Cobb. I'm okay with that. But I don't think Cobb's fortunes change in Buffalo. I think he has the same results. Because I don't think he's that quarterback. And the problem here is there's no receivers. You got Stevie Jackson. And then you're very young after that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the draft picks. I like Woods. I like Goodwin. But two prospects that are going to have a learning curve. And the longer the learning curve, the more frustrated Stevie Jackson is going to get. And the reason he'll get frustrated is because he's going to get double teamed when there's no one else to throw to. I like the move, and apparently Spiller's going to be the man. That's what the coaching staff says. And fantasy people, we all know when Spiller gets the rock, he can take it to the house. Well, that's great. Let him take it to the house. Problem is, if there's no passing game, like I just said in New York, he's going to get crushed. He won't be able to break it because they're going to stack the line and stop the run. Doesn't matter how good your offensive line is. If you can't throw the ball, they're just going to cheat and they're going to stack on the run. So hopefully Cobb can develop one of those younger receivers and bring the learning curve down. And defensively, you're moving to a 3-4. Again, I'm an iPhone quarterback guy talking his opinion in an iPhone. I don't think it's the right defense for Mario Williams. But I think Mario Williams, being the professional he is, will still put up some numbers. But I think you signed him in a 4-3 to the big contract. Now you're moving to a 3-4. I like Bird in the back at safety. But now you got 9 other players in there that got to adjust to the scheme too. And I said before, defense is about playing together and the scheme. And I don't see that defense having it together. So my predictions, I have to go with the veteran coach and the veteran quarterback, the Patriots. But I think if the Dolphins can get the scheme on defense and put all those new faces together, I think they might just have enough on offense to make it interesting in that division to finish second. And then Buffalo and New York, roll the dice. I don't care. 3rd and 4th, flip-flop. New York, you're a mess. Buffalo, I see you rebuilding, so I'm not going to call you a mess, but I just don't know. We'll see what shapes out. So again, the predictions: Patriots, Dolphins, Buffalo, New York. I'll see you at the next red light, folks. Have a great night. As always, my pleasure.